ॐ ज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरोः श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं श्रीकृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सहगण ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकान्त राधाकान्त नमोस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। नमो महावदान्याय कृष्ण प्रेम प्रदायिने कृष्णाय कृष्ण चैतन्य नाम्ने गौरत्विषे नमः। पंचतत्वात्मकं कृष्णं भक्तरूपस्वरूपकं भक्तावतारं भक्ताख्यं नमामि भक्तशक्तिकम्। श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंदा श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौरभक्तवृंदा। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। जन्माद्यस्य तोऽन्वयादितरतश्चार्थसुभिज्ञस्वराट् तेने ब्रह्म हृदय आदिकवये मुह्यन्ति यत्सूरयः। तेजो वारिमृदां यथा विनिमयो यत्र त्रिसर्गो मृषा धाम्ना स्वेन सदा निरस्तकुहकं सत्यं परं धीमहि। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। स्वस्ति अस्तु विश्वस्य खलः प्रसीदतां ध्यायन्तु भूतानि शिवं मिथो धिया। मनश्च भद्रं भजतादधोक्षजे आवेश्यतां नो मतिरप्यहैतुकी। आप सभी का स्वागत है।
We welcome all of you to this session of Śrīmad-Bhāgavad Gita. In the previous session, we deliberated on the first verse of Śrīmad-Bhāgavad Gita. Sanjay was given divine vision by Bhagavan Vyas. And Sanjay will.
पिछले सत्र में एक प्रश्न पूछा था कि धृतराष्ट्र ने दिव्य दृष्टि लेने से मना क्यों किया।
We also discussed why Dhritarashtra did not want divine vision. One answer is what I already gave, that Dhritarashtra did not want to see the destruction of of his
इसके
dynasty with his own eyes.
कारण है
The deeper reason behind this is that
प्रकार से आसक्ति हो जाती है
we all have an attachment,
आसक्ति हो
and when we are attached to something,
कोई उससे अच्छी चीज देना चाहे तो
then even if somebody tries to give something better to us, we do not want to obtain that.
आसक्ति से वो मेल नहीं खाती है
If that better object does not match with our attachment.
भारत में ही है
In this regard, there is a very nice story in Mahabharata. Once Narad ji came to this mortal world and he saw that people were suffering all around and people were in trouble. They were miserable everywhere. They were diseased. Some people did not have food. So Narad ji went to Lord Vishnu in Vaikuntha and requested him that you are all powerful. Why do you bring the people of this mortal world to Vaikuntha? So Bhagavan did not give any direct reply to him. Bhagavan said, okay, please go there, and whoever is interested, you can bring him here. I give you the liberty, you can bring anybody who is interested in Vaikuntha. So Narad ji was very happy and he thought that now everyone will come back to Vaikuntha. So he came and he was traveling from village to village, and he was preaching that anybody who wants to come to Vaikuntha, he can come with me. So people were coming out of their home and they were saying, who has come here? This is Narad. So they were going back to their house and doing their daily household chores. So Narad was thinking that as soon as I announce this, there will be a big crowd behind me. But nobody was interested in this. Nobody came with Narad. So he was surprised. This was unexpected. When we expect something and we get a different result, then we become surprised. So Naradji was extremely surprised that nobody came to him. So now then he started going from home to home and started telling every person that why are you suffering here, working so hard day and night? Come to Vaikuntha, there you don't have to work so hard. So people did not agree to that also. And Naradji was trying to convince everyone, but nobody agreed. At the end, finally, he convinced one person with lot of force and pressure. So that person agreed and he said, okay, I am ready, I will come with you. But I have a condition. I have a desire that if I would have a son, now I am young, then if I would have a son, then I would come with you. So Naradji thought that anyway, I don't want to go back empty handed to Vaikuntha, and Bhagwan will tell me you could not bring even one person to me. You were telling that you will bring the entire world to me. So Naradji gave him time, and a son was born to him. And then that person said that Naradji, how can I come now? Now he is just born. He has to grow up. I have to see his childhood. Then I will come. So then Naradji told, okay. Then that child grew up. After 4 or 5 years, Naradji came back. He told, now your child has grown up. You have enjoyed his childhood. Now come with me. So then he said that now he is so young. How can I leave him now? He has to get married. Who will get him married? In India, in Bharat, people have a lot of worry about children's marriage. In foreign countries, nobody is bothered about this. Anybody, wherever he or she wishes to get married, he or she can get. But in Bharat, people have considered it a great responsibility to get their children married. After children's marriage, they feel little relaxed. So then Narji said, okay. So then that child grew up. He was even got married. So then Naraji came back and the person said that no, I still want to see the face of my grandchild. Then I will come. Then even the grandchild was born. still that person was not ready to come with Narad. He said that the grandchild is so small. No, I enjoy. He plays on my lap. How can I leave him and come with
चला गया,
you?
इसको कष्ट होगा।
So
तो नारद जी बहुत घूमे इधर उधर, फिर
the
आए।
grandchild will feel sorry. Where did my grandfather go away? So till now the person had become old. Even his grandchild had got married. Then Narad ji said that at least come now. So then that person said, no, wait, at least this grandchild have a child, then I will go. So when Narad ji came back, till that person, this person to whom he preached was already dead. So Narad ji could preach successfully to one person, but even he could not come with him. So then Narad ji, with his divine yoga vision, he found out that this person, he became an insect in the drain near his home. So Narad ji searched for that insect and he pulled that insect out, and Narad ji spoke with it because Narad ji understands languages of all living entities. So Narad ji said that now you at least you come with me. Why are you lying here? But that insect said that this is my home. This is where I used to live. And sometimes I see my old family members here and I feel so happy seeing them. And my daughter-in-law, she cooks and then she cleans the plates, and then whatever comes out of that plate, the remnants to this drain, I eat that and I feel nourished by that. What will I do by coming to Vaikuntha? So Naradji was extremely surprised that even this insect is not ready to come to me. So this is the nature of the living entity, that wherever he or she lives, they become attached to that situation. If you try to kill any living entity, any jiva, he will try to protect himself. If you try to kill a mosquito also, the mosquito will try to protect itself. So Naradji told him, "You come with me." Then that insect said that um, he was not ready. So Naradji brought that insect to Vaikuntha. So Bhagavan Vishnu said, "You brought him." So Naradji said that I brought it forcibly because it cannot resist, was not ready to come. So why I am telling this story? Because what Dhritarashtra said, that I do not want divine vision, the reason is that every person is in ignorance. Being blind means being to live in ignorance, and we get accustomed to live in ignorance. There are so many people who don't have any knowledge of Shastra. If you try to give them some knowledge, they'll say that stop all this nonsense. I will go outside. I'll go and do my work. Why you are wasting my time by talking about Bhagavan? So what is Divya Drishti? What is divine vision? That we are discussing Bhagavad Gita. How many people are joining? We sent invitations to thousands of people. Try to learn Bhagavad Gita. Hardly 100 people are joining. Why? Because what they are doing, they are happy in that. Bhagavad Gita is divine vision, and the people in mortal world are Dhritarashtra. And some people who are joining here, you all are not Dhritarashtra. Like so, people who are not joining, they are like Dhritarashtra. They do not want divine vision. They do not want divine knowledge. So, Drishti is actually knowledge. In our philosophy, darshan is knowledge. It gives us vision. So this is indeed a reality that people do not like this. Even if you try to give this to them, they do not want this. Even if you give them forcibly, they don't want it. They have become accustomed to living like an insect in the drain. Because without knowledge of Bhagavan, without knowledge of Bhakti, without knowledge of Sanatana Dharma, without knowledge of Shastra, the life that people are living is the life of insect. They are like insect in drain only. And not only that, they are now even declaring that this Sanatan Dharma should be destroyed. It is like dengue. So these people are like the leader of the insects. So this is what I wanted to speak. Now we move on to the second verse of the first chapter of Bhagavad Gita. So when Sanjay heard this question of Dhritarashtra, he started answering. The entire Bhagavad Gita, starting from the second verse of first chapter till the last verse of last chapter, is the reply by Sanjay to Dhritarashtra's question. Actually, Sanjay could have just given a very short reply. Because when Dhritarashtra asked, "What did my sons and the sons of Pandu do?" Sanjay could have simply replied that what happened was a war. So Sanjay could have replied that 10 days have passed, it is 11th day, and what happened was war, and Bhishma fell down, and all this had happened. So was nothing in detail to narrate. But it is not like this. Actually, Sanjay wanted to narrate Bhagavad Gita to Dhritarashtra because person who has actual knowledge, he has lot of desire that others should also receive this knowledge. Those who are of Daivi Prakriti, those whose hearts are clean, those who experience this knowledge, they also want others to have experience of this knowledge. So that's why they want to share this knowledge with others. So actually, Sanjay, as a on the pretext to answering this question of Dhritarashtra, narrates Bhagavad Gita to him. So now Sanjay speaks.
तो संजय ने कहा,
So Sanjay said, King Duryodhan, he saw the army of Pandavas. Anikam is the army which was arranged for battle. After that, he went to the Acharya. And then, having gone to the Acharya, Duryodhan spoke the following words. So this is also a simple verse, like even the previous verse was simple and it had lot of deep knowledge. Even this verse has lot of deep tattva in it. First point is that Duryodhan, first of all, he sees the army. And Vyudham Anikam, how does he see the army? The army of the Pandavas. Which means Duryodhan, first of all, does not see his own army. First of all, he sees the opposite party's army. And having seen the army, he goes to Acharya, who is Dronacharya. So ideally, he should have first gone to Acharya and then done whatever he would like. First of all, he should have gone to Guru, paid obeisances to Guru, and then whatever he would, whatever was his duty, he could have performed that.
तो ये एक सदाचार है.
So this is an etiquette that first you take darshan of Guru, pay obeisances to Guru, take permission from Guru, and then begin your duty. But King Duryodhan doesn't do like that. First of all, he sees the army. So, what is the understanding behind this? That Duryodhan is actually not interested in his Guru, Acharya, he's simply self-interested. Just wants to get his work done. And he goes to Acharya for this purpose only. He goes to Acharya after seeing his army. So when he saw his army, he saw the army of Pandavas, he felt shaken internally. He saw the army properly. Actually, this is a quality of a good warrior, that when you have to fight the war, which with whomever with whom you have to fight the war, you should try to understand his strength, weakness, his strategy, preparations. So whenever we have to do any work, we should first of all analyze the situation, that what all obstacles are possible, who will be my enemies, who will be my friends. So this is fine. But the mood of Duryodhan is, first of all, he is seeing the army and then he is going to the Acharya. That means, why is he going to the Acharya? Because by seeing the army, he has become scared. And that's why he is going to Acharya. He will address the Acharya. The purpose of addressing will be to provoke him. And this is why in this verse it is said, Racha Vachanam Abravit. So actually it was sufficient to say Raja Abravit, like it was told earlier, Sanjaya Uvacha. It was not said Sanjaya Shlokam Uvacha. It was not said Sanjaya Uttaram Uvacha. That's Sanjay replied. It was simply said Sanjay said. But here it is said that the king went to Acharya. What is the need to tell Vachanam Abravit? So in the Sanskrit Shastras, they have a speciality that they do not use any word in vain. Any word which is used, although it may seem that it has no use, but actually it has use. We may not understand, that is another problem. So the commentators, they analyze very deeply and they reveal the hidden meaning behind every word. So here also, why Vachanam is said, that when king will speak, that when king will speak, he will speak some statements of diplomacy like a king. So what king will speak now is simply not going to speak some words of paying obeisances. He wants to actually fulfill his self-interest. In this world, there are four types of people. Some people are paropakari, who perform welfare for others. Their life is for others' welfare.
विभाति काय करुणा पराणम। तो जो करुणा परक लोग होते हैं,
So those who are compassionate, they work for others. They are known as paropakari. They are called sadhu, mahatma. All these words are used for them. They don't have any self-interest, because what they wanted to attain in their life, they already attained. Now they are living. Now if they are living for others' welfare. Second type of people are who have their own self-interest. They want to fulfill that, and in the midst of fulfilling their own self-interest, if they can do others' welfare also, that is fine. Their primary objective is not to perform welfare for others. Their primary interest is their self-interest. But in that, if they can do some welfare for others, that's also fine. This is the second category. The third category is self-interested, selfish people. They want to fulfill their self-interest, and even if for fulfilling their self-interest, others are harmed or others have to face some loss, they don't mind. They just want to fulfill their selfish motive. These people are known as Swarthi. So Duryodhan falls in that category of people. He just wants to fulfill his self-interest. He just wants to win the war. Whether the Dronacharya is sacrificed in that, whether Bhishma is sacrificed, others are sacrificed, he doesn't care. He just wants to be the king. The last category of people are, they are apakari. They are known as Daitya, Asura, etc. they they cause trouble to others and they derive happiness in this. This is their objective in life, that just trouble others and enjoy. These people are known as sadists in the modern psychology.
Sociopath. दूसरा sadist is
These people are known as sociopath also.
लोग जानते नहीं. तो ऐसे भी
The
लोग
common
होते
word
हैं.
is sadist.
तो पहली प्रकार के और चौथी प्रकार के कम होते हैं. ज्यादातर
So
तीसरे प्रकार के
first
लोग
category and fourth category people are found are less in number. Mostly people are in second and third category. Duryodhan falls in the third category.
भक्ति संदर्भ में आया था.
So in this regard, there is a
साधु
verse that comes in Bhakti Sandarbha
विभिन्न प्रकार के लोग जाते हैं तो उनको
that there is a sadhu
तो कहते हैं
and different
चिरंजीव
people go to him.
चिरंजीव राजपुत्र का माँ जीवा मुनुपुत्र का जीवा वा मर वा साधो माँ मर माँ जीवा व्याध. तो उनके पास में राजपुत्र जाता है, राजा का पुत्र या राजा
So
जाता है.
the king or the prince goes to the sadhu and the sadhu says that may you live long.
तो उसमें कहता है मुनिपुत्र आप
Then the saint's son comes to him and he said, don't live anymore, may you die.
को कहते हैं
Then a sadhu comes to him and he said that you live or you die doesn't make any difference. And then a hunter comes to him
आप जियो भी मत
and he replies, may you neither die neither live nor live.
वास्तव में चार प्रकार के
So
आशीर्वाद वो देता है.
these are the four types of blessings he gives. To the prince he says, may you live long. So why? Because he thinks that you already have lot of wealth. Live as much as possible. After that, what will happen to you, I don't know.
मुनिपुत्र जो है वो
And the Muni, the aesthetic,
तो कहते हैं आप जियो मत, आपको
so
तपस्या का फल मिलेगा, स्वर्ग जाओगे आप.
so he says that you don't live anymore, you will get the result of your austerity and you will go to heaven.
करता है वो जिए
And the sadhu who is living for others, it doesn't matter whether he lives or dies.
दोनों में ही उसका
And the hunter,
जीते हुए
whether he lives or dies,
क्योंकि सबको
in both cases his life it is waste, because he is suffering while living. Even after dying he will suffer,
तो यहाँ
so that life is waste.
दुर्योधन है
So here Duryodhan
वो आचार्य के पास में इसलिए
is
जाता
going
है
to Acharya because
कि मैं किस प्रकार से
he
बात
wants
करूं
to
ताकि द्रोणाचार्य
is thinking,
प्रोत्साहित करूं.
how should I talk to him so that I can provoke him and I can incite anger in him to fight the war. Because what was the trouble? The trouble was that
शिष्य है
Dronacharya's main disciple Arjun is fighting on the opposite side, and Dronacharya loved Arjun very much.
पुत्र से भी ज्यादा प्रेम करता
Not just like his son, he liked Arjun more than his own son. He taught those skills to Arjun which he did not impart even to his son.
और उसको वापस
He taught Arjun how to release Brahmastra and take it back. But to Ashwathama, he just taught how to release Brahmastra. But how to take it back, he had not taught it to his own son, because he did not consider his own son to be worthy
अगर
of learning how to take back the Brahmastra.
क्रोधित नहीं हुआ
So Duryodhan is worried that if Dronacharya doesn't have the feeling of anger towards his disciples, the Pandavas, to whom he has special love, so he wanted to provoke Dronacharya against the Pandavas. So this is the diplomacy, this is the niti that people apply. They will come and they will glorify us so that they can get their work done.
प्रकार से करते हैं.
So people glorify us in different ways.
की प्रशंसा
One glorification is as it is, glorification as it is, which is very rarely found. Mostly the glorification that people perform, it is not real. It is not as it is.
पथ्य से श्रोता वक्ता च दुर्लभ है. तो बहुत दुर्लभ है इस प्रकार
So it's very rare to find such speakers who will actually speak the reality and it is very rare to find the audience who are ready to listen as it is. So there are many people who glorify, whose glorification is false, the false glorification. Nowadays I see lot of this type of glorification, especially where there is a big audience, big stage, and people glorify each other, and there is lot of exaggeration in that glorification. Of course it has some amount of reality, otherwise why would that person even sit on the stage? He has some quality, that is why sitting on the stage. But to glorify it beyond proportion and extending the glorification, raising the person to such a high pedestal which he does not deserve, it has become common nowadays, especially in politics. This is very common. The third type of glorification, so first was yathartha as it is, and the second was exaggeration, and the third is called vyajastuti. Vyajastuti means false glorification. In that the glorification is actually intended for criticism. So like if there is a weak person and you tell him that, oh, you are so strong, so the other person understands that he is not being glorified. It's like if somebody is not good in study and you tell him, oh, you are so scholarly. So in that, the speaker and the audience both understand that this glorification is not real. And the fourth type of glorification is that which is done out of selfish motive to get some work done, which is called flattery. So this is what Duryodhan is going to do. So this flattery is meant to get his own work done. And Duryodhan, in order to get his work done, has to do this. Nowadays, sadhus, when they go to some businessman and they glorify the businessman, actually they don't have any objective in this glorification. The only thing they want to attain is they want to get good donation from the businessman. So to get donation, this has always been the policy that keep glorifying the donor. Earlier, Brahmanas used to glorify the kings too much. They used to even write verses in glorification of the king because we want shelter from the king. So this Duryodhan, in the same way, is going to glorify Acharya. Nothing much is said in the verse, but this is actually the objective behind this verse. So the actually the general of his army is Bhishma. Bhishma is the head of the army. He should have gone to Bhishma, but he knows that Bhishma is my family man, and Bhishma even used to chastise Duryodhan. So that's why he did not go to Bhishma. He went to Dronacharya. And Dronacharya is Guru, Acharya, he is Brahmana. So Dronacharya can even have in his mind that why I was not made appointed as the general of the army, because people have this competition for the top post and they feel envious why I was not given this post, why others got it. Now Bhishma is a Kshatriya and Dronacharya is a Brahman, and Dronacharya is a very famous warrior, and he is the guru of both Kauravas and Pandavas. So actually he should have been appointed as the general of the army. And even Bhishma would not have protested against this because Bhishma had immense respect for Dronacharya. So that's why Duryodhan is approaching Dronacharya so that if he has this pain in his heart, I will remove that pain. I'll remove the thorn from his heart. So that's why it is said Raja Vachanam Abravit, that Duryodhan and Raja, king, both words are used. Duryodhan saw the army, and when Duryodhan went to the Acharya, it was not Duryodhan who went, it was the king who went. So here the word king indicates diplomacy, that he will deal diplomatically with Acharya, he will try to provoke him. there is a story in Mahabharata that there was a demon Vidyunmali, and he performed lot of austerity to please Lord Shiva. And after a long time, Lord Shiva appeared to him, and he said that, tell me, what do you want? So Vidyunmali said that, please give me an aeroplane, such a plane which can travel at such a speed which will never be obstructed, which can travel anywhere, and it cannot be destroyed by anybody's attack. And Lord Shiva, who is Ashutosh, he told, okay, so be it. He was not worried what this Vidyunmali will do with the plane. So he got the plane, he started wandering everywhere on the plane, and he started disturbing the Devatas. When Devatas used to come to fight with him, he was just sitting in the plane. The Devatas were throwing arrows and nothing was happening to his plane because of Lord Shiva's benediction. So one day he had fight with uh, Surya Dev. So Surya Bhagavan, the sun god, he increased the temperature and he melted the aeroplane. It generated so much heat that the aeroplane got liquefied. It melted. So the poor fellow Vidyunmali, he can't say anything to Surya Narayan. He couldn't even fight with him. So he thought, how should I take revenge from him? And he tried diplomacy. He went to Lord Shiva and said that only Shiva can now take revenge on my behalf from Surya. And he went to Lord Shiva and he told Lord Shiva that, oh Lord, you have been insulted very much. Now, this is how others are provoked. Lord Shiva said, how have I been insulted? He simply wanted benediction and he got it. So he told Lord Shiva that you have been insulted by Surya. So he said that the plane that you had given me, Surya has melted that plane. So Lord Shiva thought, okay, fine, if he has melted it, what have I got to do that? So he said, no, this was the plane which has been melted was actually given by you. Like if you buy a Mercedes and somebody breaks it and you go to the company and you said that, and you tell him that, see, this is your company's car and it has been broken, it's a great insult to you. So then Lord Shiva became angry because this is what Vidyunmali wanted, and then Lord Shiva ran to Surya. Is one verse in Bhagavatam also, in somewhere in third canto, that when Lord Shiva ran, Surya fell down. It comes somewhere in Bhagavatam. So it is connected with the story of Vidyunmali. So the point is that selfish people act like this. Why am I telling this? Because the title that we have given to this series of Bhagavad Gita sessions is Bhagavad Gita and Our Life. That's why I am trying to explain these verses of Gita in a practical way, that these are the situations that we face in our life. People provoke us and we get provoked and we get ready to fight. Even your wife may provoke you, your husband may provoke you. The wife may have problem with somebody and she provokes. So then the husband will fight with his mother, and this is how mother-in-law, daughter-in-law start fighting. In Bharat, this is very common situation that husbands face. But this happens everywhere, fight between mother-in-law and daughter-in-law. So in this way, a person should deliberate that whatever the other person is speaking to me, what is his objective behind speaking this? We should try to understand, analyze the statements that others are speaking. What is the cause behind that? What is the objective behind that? We face such situations in workplace also, wherever you are performing job, any service. So somebody may provoke us against somebody else just to get his own selfish motive fulfilled, to fulfill his enmity against somebody, may use us as a weapon. So everywhere there is battlefield. Our life is war. We are not fighting with arrows, but this war of diplomacy goes on, and people behave diplomatically with us. This diplomacy is found everywhere, in family, in politics, in workplace. So we should try to understand that what is the objective that the other person has to fulfill. So for that purpose, this word is used here, Raja Vachanam Abravit. So these words have been used here with lot of deliberation. They have lot of depth of meaning. And the verse doesn't contain so much detail. If you want to understand things in detail, then study Mahabharata. Gita contains the wisdom in essence. So King Duryodhan goes there to Acharya, and this is what he speaks. So it is natural that when Dronacharya saw this, that the king is coming to me. So if Duryodhan would have wanted, he could have called Dronacharya to himself, because he has this right. Even the king can send message to Guru and call the Guru to his court. If you study the histories of kings in India, they used to send messages to Acharya, and the Acharya used to come to the court of king to discuss. So this is actually diplomacy, that why Duryodhan is going to Dronacharya, so that Dronacharya will feel respected by the king, and if he has some anger inside his heart, that anger will go away, the anger against Duryodhan. The second word used for Dronacharya is Acharya. So we should understand this word Acharya. People use this word casually without understanding its meaning. Nowadays, these words Acharya, Guru, nowadays these words are misused because people do not study Shastra and they do not understand who is Acharya, who is Guru, who is capable. In our Shastra, all words are explained in detail. What is the meaning of Acharya?
आचार्य तस्माद उच्यते तेन आचार्य कीर्तिता आचार्य तेन कीर्तिता तो आचार्य उसको कहते हैं
So Acharya is one who
उनको शिष्य को समझाता है
explains the meaning of Shastra to the disciple.
तो आतनोति उसकी व्याख्या करता है
Atanoti means to explain,
बताता है शास्त्र के विभिन्न जगह से
who churns the Shastra and explains its meaning to the disciple. And he brings the meaning of Shastra in practical application also, in behavior also. He also teaches the disciple how to apply the teaching of Shastra in his own life. He simply doesn't give lecture, and not that he's not checking whether the disciple is applying or no. And the Acharya applies the teachings of Shastra in his own life. If the Acharya does not apply the teachings of Shastra in his own life, then how can he be called Acharya? So these are the three things for which he is called Acharya. Number one, he should be well versed in Shastra and he should be teaching Shastra. He teaches the meaning of Shastra. Second, to whom he teaches, the disciple also follows that. And the third, the Acharya himself also follows that. So one who fulfills these three conditions, he is eligible to be called Acharya. So Dronacharya is this type of an Acharya. So Guru also has similar meaning. One who has deep knowledge and experience of Shastra and applies the teachings of Shastra in his own personal behavior.
आजकल इस प्रकार के बहुत गुरु हैं जो
Nowadays, there are many gurus
इस व्याख्या के अनुरूप
who
नहीं है,
do not fit in this
उनके लिए भी एक श्लोक
definition of
ने बोला है पार्वती को, बहुत महत्वपूर्ण है।
the word guru.
तो कहते
So
हैं
for them also, Lord Shiva tells Parvati.
शिष्य वित्तापहार कहा, दुर्लभ सद्गुरु देवी शिष्य संतापहार कहा। तो कहते हैं कि
So Lord Shiva is telling Parvati ji, he is telling to Sati that there are many gurus in this world who steal away the money of the disciple, but it is very rare to find a Sadguru who steals away the suffering of the disciple
उसको ज्ञान देकर।
by giving him knowledge.
तो द्रोणाचार्य जी आचार्य हैं इस प्रकार।
So Dronacharya is a real acharya who is well versed in. He is not. He knows both Shastra and Shastra.
उन्होंने कहा आचार्य अनुसंगम में राजा वचनम अब्रवीत। तो इसके बाद में फिर हम आगे बढ़ते हैं दूसरे श्लोक पर। तो ये तो इसका अनुवाद है। संजय ने कहा उस समय पांडवों की सेना को युद्ध के लिए तैयार देखकर राजा दुर्योधन ने अपने
So this is the translation that.
ये शब्द कहे। तो अब अगला जो श्लोक है यहाँ लिखा नहीं है, लेकिन ये समझ लीजिए आप कि इसको दुर्योधन ने बोला।
So the third verse, it is not mentioned, but you have to understand it is spoken by Duryodhan.
तो अब देखिए किस प्रकार से एक कुशल राजनीतिज्ञ के।
So now we should see how Duryodhan is speaking like an expert diplomat.
समझने वाले हैं क्या कहते हैं। तो पहले वो कहता पश्येताम।
So first of all, Duryodhan speaks Pashyaitam Panduputranam.
पांडुपुत्राणाम आचार्य। आचार्य शब्द का बाद में प्रयोग करता है। कहना तो ये चाहिए था हे आचार्य इस पांडुपुत्रों की सेना को।
So he should have told this later. First he should have told that, oh Acharya, please see this
सेना को ओ आचार्य।
Acharya. No, he is telling that see this army, oh Acharya.
प्रकार से जैसे उनको ये आज्ञा दे रहा है कि देखिए।
So in one way he is giving an order. See this, oh Acharya. See what they have done. So this is a strategy to provoke that see what Pandavas have done. Such a big army. Actually, Duryodhan's army is very big. He has 11 Akshauhini soldiers. And Pandava's army consisted only of 7 Akshauhini. Duryodhan's army is almost 1.5 times of Pandava's army. So actually, the bigger army belongs to Duryodhan. But he is showing to Acharya that the army of the enemy side is bigger. So one reason is that person's mentality is that because of envy, he sees others objects as bigger. So it is actually same thing like in English we say grass is greener on the other side. So actually we have also the same thing, but we see other objects as more or bigger because of our envy. It's not that they have more or something big. Another reason is that this Pandavas, he says that we have already taken away their wealth. So these Pandavas, they will fight with lot of strength and enthusiasm because they lost their wealth. But our soldiers, they will not fight with all their strength because they have not lost anything. If you are in trouble, you will fight with full enthusiasm because you want back what you have lost. But what have these Kaurava soldiers or kings, what do they want?
भले कोई युद्ध के पक्ष में हो तो मजबूरी के कारण लड़ने आए हैं
The major generals in Kaurava's army, they are fighting just because they have been forced by Duryodhan to fight. They are not fighting from their heart. They actually don't want
तो
the
जो
war.
व्यक्ति दबाव में आकर काम
So the
करता है वो
person who
किसी
works
अच्छा
under
भक्त नहीं
pressure
होता
or by some force, he will not apply his entire energy. This is the difference between Vaidhi and Raganuga Bhakti. Raganuga means you have own attraction or taste or interest. But Vaidhi Bhakta is performing bhakti because he knows that if I don't do this, I will be suffering.
ये तो एक प्रकार से
So this Bhishma and Drona,
लड़ाई लड़ रहे हैं वैदिक
they are fighting a Vaidhi type of war
उनका नमक खाया है
because
सब आपका नमक खाया है
because they were maintained financially by Duryodhan.
तो इसलिए वो लड़ रहे हैं
That's why they are fighting.
तो ऐसा नहीं है
But Pandava's case is not like that.
सब कुछ जान लगा के लड़ेंगे
Pandavas have applied their entire life to fight this war. They have applied their full energy. They have nothing to lose because they already lost everything.
और हमारी बड़ी
So that's why Pandava's small army is appearing big to Duryodhan, and the big army of Duryodhan is appearing small to him. So another reason, whether it is Bhishma or Drona, they all have love in their heart for Pandavas. They don't have similar love for Duryodhan. Duryodhan is their king, but their love is on the other side.
तो एक तो वो लड़ना नहीं चाहते दूसरा
So one thing is that they do not want to fight, and they are fighting against those people whom they love. So obviously they will not fight with their heart. That's why Duryodhan time to time he used to go and incite Bhishma. That's why Bhishma had taken vow that either I will kill Pandavas or I will force Krishna to lift weapon.
कृष्ण को अपनी प्रतिज्ञा तोड़नी पड़े
So Krishna had to break his vow.
उकसाया उसको
So why did it happen? Because Duryodhan had gone to Bhishma and provoked him.
समझता है इस बात को
So Duryodhan understands this.
समझता है इस बात को तो इसलिए
He was a diplomat.
पश्य है
So that's why he is telling to Dronacharya, Pashya, see this.
देख रहा है उनकी सेना को क्या द्रोणाचार्य की आंख नहीं है देखने के लिए
It's not that Dronacharya cannot see the army. Does he not have eyes to see the army? So what is the objective that Duryodhan have in telling, see this, see this? So here, see this does not literally mean see. Actually here, that is not the objective. Here it means that try to understand that what is their level, what is their standard.
हल्के से मत लो
Don't take the Pandavas lightly,
क्योंकि आप अगर इनको हल्के से लो
because if you take them lightly,
मुसीबत खड़ी हो जाएगी
then we will be in serious trouble.
अगर अग्नि रोग
If fire,
शत्रु
enemy,
कोई हल्के से
rain,
लेता है
if somebody takes them lightly,
तो उसकी मृत्यु ही होगी
then he will
पर अग्नि लग जाए
die.
छोटी सी हो
If there is fire somewhere, even if it's a small fire, if you don't extinguish it, it will become it will take big proportion. So similarly, your enemy, if there is any debt, if you don't repay the debt will keep on increasing. So that's why we should never ignore this debt, enemy, fire. We should never consider the enemy as small. That's why he is telling Mahatim Chamum that don't think that just because they have 7 Akshohini, what harm can they cause to us? Sometimes people think like this, people who are powerful, they think that, oh, this is a small, insignificant person, what can he do to me? But even if a small thorn pricks your feet, then it will trouble you. Even a mosquito bite can cause dengue. So even a small mosquito can cause so much harm to our body. Doesn't have hands or legs, but it gives so much trouble. So that is why the mood behind this is the mood behind telling Mahatim Chamum. And this is the son of Drupada, Drishtadyumna, who is the general of the Pandavas army. He is the son of Drupada. So he should have told simply Drishtadyumna. Instead of telling Drishtadyumna, he is telling the son of Drupad. Why is he bringing the point of Drupad? Because Drupad is the enemy of Dronacharya. because Drupada and Dronacharya, they were friends earlier, but later they became enemies. Friends only turn into enemies. If you have some friend, then if you have some enemy, there is a high chance sometime he would have been your friend. Nobody becomes enemy suddenly. One who is friend earlier only becomes enemy later. So this is to remind him that the army that you see in front, this army has been arranged by your disciple Drishtadyumna, who is the son of Drupad, your enemy. And this is your disciple, and he is so intelligent. And your disciple who is so intelligent, what is the point behind this? That if your disciple is so intelligent, does it means that you should be more intelligent? Naturally, this should be the meaning, but here it doesn't mean like that. Now, if somebody comes to a guru and glorifies his disciple, so it is indirect glorification of guru only. But here it is not like that, because here he is indicating that your disciple, your son is standing against you only. If your disciple or your son stands in your opposite party and is glorified, will you like that? You will enjoy your disciple or son's glorification only as long as he is in your party. If he goes in the opposite party, then his glorification will increase your anger. So that's why he is using the word dhimata for the disciple, that he is glorifying that disciple who is sitting on the opposite party of the guru. So obviously this will increase the anger of guru, that I will see him. I have only taught him and now he is going to fight against me. Let me see what he can do to me. So in this way, Duryodhan is using diplomacy. He is choosing calculated words to incite feelings of anger in Dronacharya's heart. If you simply read the verse, you will not understand all this. You will think that what is this? What is so big deal? I mean, what is the point of this verse? So this is called a Vyanjana. This is implied meaning or suggested meaning, indirect. So by Vyanjana Vritti, we get all this understanding of the verses in our Shastra. He's telling, he's very intelligent. It means he is trying to indirectly indicate to Dronacharya that he is a big fool, because he is your disciple only. You only taught him, although it was already pre-decided that Drishtadyumna will kill you. And you already knew that Drishtadyumna was born from Yajna. Drishtadyumna and Draupadi were both brother sister. They were born from Yajna. Drupad had performed a fire sacrifice, a Yajna, that I want such a son who can kill Dronacharya. So Drishtadyumna was born from the fire. He was actually not born from Drupad's wife. He was born from fire. That is why Draupadi is also known as Yajnasaini, because she was born from Yajna. So although you knew that Drishtadyumna is born to kill you, still you gave him education of military art. Now he cannot tell like this directly to Dronacharya, who is his guru, but he is telling like this indirectly, so that Dronacharya can get provoked and he can fight with his heart and he can defeat the Pandavas. So this is the purpose of this verse. So we'll stop here. If you have any question, kindly ask.
You can stop that now. Okay.
Okay, Shailesh. Pranam Babaji, what is the meaning of the word Drona, Dronacharya's name?
Drona means a pot. It's like you have lota pot. He was born in that. He's actually a test tube baby. Son of Bharadwaj.
Usha Soniji?
Yes.
कृपया अनम्यूट कीजिए।
पूछिए क्या पूछना। आई डोंट सी एनीथिंग हियर। ओके, और किसी का कोई प्रश्न? यस,
धीरा ललित जी।
बोलिए धीरा।
Radhe Radhe, Dandavad
अनम्यूट
Pranam.
करके बोलिए।
Thank you for the class. I just got a question. You know, there was so much importance given to Dronacharya being an acharya, being a learned person, not only in Shastra, but also in Shastra. And then also, obviously, Bhishma Dev, who's actually one of the great Mahajans. Then after all this knowledge and after all this experience, how is it that people can still end up on the wrong side and not have proper allegiance? How is it that the knowledge can become so covered?
Yeah, this is exactly the story I told in the beginning of this Sri Naradaji and going around telling people. This covering of knowledge is a very common phenomenon. That if I ask you that do you follow everything you know, then you will probably say no.
Babaji, Hindi, please.
मेरे प्रश्न अंग्रेजी में पूछे हो तो मेरा अंग्रेजी का संस्कार उद्दीप्त हो गया। तो उनका प्रश्न पहले हिंदी में मैं बताता हूँ। हिंदी में आपको हिंदी में पूछना चाहिए था, धीरज जी आप तो हिंदी जानते हैं। उनका प्रश्न ये है कि
The question is that Dronacharya, Bhishma, they are great warriors. They are very well learned in Shastra. Why are they fighting on the side of Duryodhan? This is a very important question, and this has been asked many times, and I have answered it also earlier. What is the primary reason behind this? Here, the straight answer is that they were financially maintained by Duryodhan. Duryodhan was maintaining them. And if Duryodhan is maintaining them, it is their duty to support Duryodhan, even if Duryodhan is wrong. Because ultimately he is king. Now we are in a different situation. Now, if nowadays we do not respect the Guru Varga, gurus, seniors, elders, but in that age, in the Dwapar Yug, I have seen it in my childhood also, that those who were elder to us, we just listen to them, not just our parents. Anybody who is senior in our family, we just listen to him. We used to fear them. They chastised us. We never felt bad for that. The the village chief, if he said anything, the entire village supported him. So this is the case of a village. So earlier king was treated like Bhagwan. In Gita also Bhagwan says that among human beings I am the king. Because king is of two types.
और एक दूसरा होता अमूर्धाभिषिक्त राजा। तो मूर्धाभिषिक्त राजा उसको बोलते हैं जिसको
The Murdhavishipta king is that king who has been placed on the throne. Yajna has been performed by Brahmanas, and the king is installed on the throne by Abhishek, by bathing ceremony. So that king, wherever he goes, there will be an umbrella on him, and there will be chamaras. Like if you see Shankaracharya is going, then Shankaracharya's seat also goes along with him, and he'll be sitting on the seat, and somebody will be holding the chhatra on him. So this is the sign of king. So the king who is who is appointed like this, it has a long process and is treated like Bhagavan. So like we have deity, the deity is installed and Bhagavan arrives in that deity because of that installation ceremony. Earlier, which was a murti, now it has become vigraha because it has been installed by Bhagavan. It takes Bhagavan in itself. Now that vigraha is not representative of Bhagavan. This is not idol worship. There is no English translation for vigraha. Vigraha is directly Bhagavan. So the king was also installed like this. All the Shaktis of the Lokpal, the Devata, they used to come inside the king. So king was respected like this. So whether Dronacharya or Bhishma, they accepted the king. They had this type of samskaras, this type of etiquette that they won't go against the king. Although they are the gurus of the king, they can chastise the king. But as a king, they respect the post of the king. That's why they fought on the side of the king. Now, the second explanation which applies to us is that when a person's destruction is about to happen, his intelligence gets bewildered. So when we are going to face some calamity, then our intelligence becomes bewildered. And although we have knowledge, we don't apply that knowledge in our life. And because of our attachment, we take the wrong step. Like I said earlier, that you also have a lot of knowledge, but you don't work according to all the knowledge that you have. We know that we should not speak lie, we should not do violence, we should not trouble others, we should not criticize others. It is the offense to holy name. And then this question arises, why do we offend others? So we are human being, we know this, still we do offense. We have heard it 50 times that we should not criticize other devotees, still we do that. So why we are doing this? So Bhishma and Dronachar also are human beings like us, they are not Bhagavan. They are more knowledgeable than us, they do more austerity, they are also human being, they also have this fault. That is the reason. And the first reason I already explained. So this is what we have to learn from Gita, Mahabharata. These examples which have been given in Shastra, they are meant to teach us. It's not that we should act like Dronacharya and Bhishma. We should learn that we should never take help from anybody who is an offender, because one day we will have to suffer. Like the sadhus, they take donations from wrong people and then they get implicated because they have to support these wrong people because they have already taken donation from them. If you already know that this person is wrong, don't take donation from that person. If you take donation, then you have to be grateful and you have to show your gratitude, because lack of gratitude is the big defect. That's why Karna told Bhagavan Krishna, when Bhagavan told him that you come to my party, Karna said that no, I cannot be ungrateful to Duryodhan, he has helped me so much. So in lack of gratitude is a defect.
प्रणाम बाबा जी। यहाँ पूछ रहे हैं कि आप बोले थे कि जिनके पास ज्ञान है वो प्रचार करना चाहते हैं, पर हमें क्या करना चाहिए जब दूसरा आदमी जो है उसको लेता नहीं है, और वो उदाहरण दे रहे हैं कि अगर किसी से बोलता है कि भगवद गीता का ज्ञान देना है कि छोड़ देना है, वैसे
नहीं, अगर वो नहीं लेता है तो मत दीजिए उसको, जो
So
लेना
the question is, You said that who have knowledge want to spread it, but what should one do when the other person avoids? What should we do? So the answer is, one who doesn't want to take this knowledge, don't give this knowledge, because that is also a defect. First, prepare the person. If you don't have a pot and I want to pour milk, if I pour milk in your hand, it will get destroyed. So the person who doesn't want to receive knowledge, it means he is not eligible. It is like sowing seed on an infertile land. So that seed will get wasted. And if you are so enthusiastic to preach to that person, first cultivate him, make him ready to receive this knowledge. First generate the eagerness. As long as the other person doesn't have the eagerness, don't give the knowledge. So that's why Bhagavan also told in Gita that I am very happy with the person who gives this knowledge to devotees. Obviously, devotees will want to listen. So the next question is, how to identify people who are associated with us as friend, but they actually want to harm us? Can we acknowledge them before any physical, mental, and financial harm? So a person is recognized by his behavior, by his words. Any person who is speaking, his body language, his choice of words, that reflects. So you should analyze that very deeply. Every person is not capable of analyzing. It needs a very lot of skill to recognize the other person, because people hide their bad qualities. So it takes a lot of time to understand some, to get this skill. So Niti teaches us that first of all, check the dynasty of the person. Whatever is called DNA in English, that is samskar in Sanskrit. So we should try to analyze what type of parents that person has.
इनसे थोड़ा आइडिया हो जाएगा, चाहे वो आपके सामने बढ़िया प्रकार से
Is coming from which dynasty, what type of knowledge he has. By that we will get some idea.
तो क्योंकि उसके अंदर उस प्रकार के संस्कार आएंगे ना माँ बाप के, तो उससे थोड़ा आपको एक दिशा निर्देश मिलेगा.
So with that we will get some guidance. We will understand how we should analyze, and then we should scrutinizingly analyze his behavior, what he speaks, does he do that, how much harmony is there between his speech and his actions. If he is not speaking the truth, be careful. This is the biggest symptom. The person speaks
देता है टाइम इतने बजे, वो नहीं आता है, इसका मतलब वो झूठ बोल रहा है.
lies in small
तो
things.
ऐसा आदमी कुछ भी कर सकता है.
If a person gives you an appointment, I will come in this time, and he doesn't come in that time, so that is wrong. Then that person will not be reliable.
तो इस तरह से अध्ययन करना पड़ता है. ये भी
That way we have to check. So this is also a field of knowledge, and we develop it by experience. Next question: when is a person eligible to take Diksha, spiritual initiation, as we should take Diksha, and how will we identify a perfect guru who can take us on the path of spiritual realization? So I already answered this question. What are the symptoms of guru? Should be Shastragya, well versed in Shastra. He should have the ability to teach Shastra. Some people know Shastra, but they are not qualified to teach Shastra, because this spiritual path, it is based on Shastra. Bhagavan tells in Gita, in other place also he has told. So first of all, the person should be knowledgeable in Shastra. Second, he should be qualified to teach others, and he should even have interest in teaching others. Some people have knowledge, but they don't want to share with others. They don't like to teach. So this is first thing we have to understand in Guru. As far as Diksha is concerned, you should be inquisitive. You should have Shraddha in Shastra. This is the qualification. Next question is, if someone attacks us with harsh words or tries to make us angry, how to stop him? So the answer is, don't stop that person, stop oneself. We have to stop ourselves only. When somebody is attacking us with harsh words, we can't stop the other person. We should. The problem is that we want to rectify or reform others. We cannot do that. We don't have any control on others. If we can have control on ourselves, that itself will be a big achievement. So we should maintain ourselves. We should control our mind. Nobody can cause much harm to us if we are self-controlled, because you cannot clap with one hand. How long that person will criticize us? He will stop us. Nowadays, people write all kinds of things on social media, email. So many times it happens to me. I don't answer only. Then the other person becomes quiet. If I start answering, then this war of words will continue. So what are we going to achieve with that? So so somebody speaks some nonsense on social media. I just read and understand that, and I stop there. Next question: do Ramayana and Mahabharata happening every yug, and will it happen? Answer is, Ramayana and Mahabharata are happening now only. This is all the time happening. Now also it is happening. Next question: that when Karna, even when told by Lord Krishna, he did not went to the side of Pandavas. He decided with his intelligence. He ignored Bhagavan. So it is said that he was helpless. So how can we understand in the context of his helplessness? So the answer is that how do you consider him helpless? He did not listen to Bhagavan's words. That's why he got the reaction of his karma. So in one way, everyone is helpless. So he was so helpless. He was left in water by his own mother. But after that, Adhirath, Radha, they took him and they grew him up. So that's why Karna is also known as Radheya, because the mother who maintained him was called Radha. He was the adopted child of Adhirath and Radha. So he had this competitive feeling in his heart. That's why he suffered whole life. So person should understand who I am, what is my eligibility, and I should work like that. When we become focused on others, Karna was always focused on Arjun. His life was revolving around Arjun. That how should I defeat him? How should I insult him? How should I kill him? So this was, when this is his objective, what will is the use of his helplessness? He was a mighty warrior. He could have lived his life peacefully, but he had this inferiority complex that I have to be bigger than Arjun. So this is not a proper goal of life, that I have to become bigger than somebody. It is your karma that you got this type of mother. So now forget about that. It is just because of your karma. Now just don't just hold on to that. So this self-pity syndrome, we get caught into that. But some people always keep on crying. This happened to me, that happened to me. And what happened, happened. And whatever happened was because of our own karma only, not because of others. Others also act wrongly, but we are also responsible in that. Nothing happens accidentally. We also are responsible in that. So you take care of yourself and work accordingly.
Nikhil ji?
हरे कृष्णा बाबा जी महाराज, आपके चरणों में बारंबार प्रणाम। पिछले कुछ लेक्चर में राग द्वेष के ऊपर एक चर्चा हुई थी, उसमें एक श्लोक आया था।
So the question is, in the previous lecture there was some explanation on raga dvesha. So as you said that we can study Sadhak Sanjeevani edition of Bhagavad Gita. So there Sri Ram Sukdas ji has said that where there is rag, there will also be dvesha. And the sadhak should not have rag towards sadhana, then then there when there will be obstacle, then there will be dvesh also. But if we have prema in sadhana, then we will cry that I am not able to do sadhana properly. So I am not able to understand what is the difference. He is telling that there should not be raga in sadhana, but there should be prema in sadhana. So answer, have you studied Upadeshamrit of Rupa Goswami? So Rupa Goswami ji tells 6 obstacles to bhakti. One of them is agraha. So he has told about agraha, niyamagraha. So what is niyamagraha? This is niyamagraha, that you become attached to the niyam or the rule. So this happens because of ahankara. This is the difference between raga and prema. So when it is about raga, then it is my own ahankara. I go daily to Mangal Arti. So then you become famous for this, that I cannot miss Mangal Arti. Now you are going Mangal Arti because you are known for attending Mangal Arti daily. You are not going for Bhagavan. Now you have got this ahamkar that I daily attend. So now you are doing it for yourself, not for Bhagavan. This is a very subtle point. People don't even discuss this, that why Rupa Goswami is talking about this niyam agraha, that people think niyam is very nice, we should follow niyam. Then why he is talking of niyam agraha? So this is a very subtle point. So these anarthas, they are so subtle that they are not even visible. We don't realize them. So on the path of bhakti, we do many things because that satisfies us. Prema means satisfaction of Bhagavan, anukulyena krishnanushilanam. And raga means my own satisfaction. And there is a very subtle difference between these two. There is a very fine borderline between these two. So for that, you have to develop subtle intelligence. You have to fine tune your intelligence, because you can understand this, that whether you are doing this because of your ahankara or prema. Because others, what will they understand? They don't understand their situation only. Only a very advanced devotee only can understand this. He can identify this. So you have to be very careful in this regard. That why am I doing this? So this is what Ram Sukdas ji is trying to tell this, although he is not explaining in exactly the same way, but this is the idea behind his explanation. So basically he is telling that such a sadhaka, he is worshipping his own ahamkar. He has made a deity of his ahamkara, that I don't miss Mangal Arti. Now he is worshipping his own ahamkara. Whether he is sick or whatever, he will attend. Actually, if he has real love for Krishna and he goes to Mangal Arti, even if he is sick or whatever, is very good. But if he is not doing for that, if he is doing for his amkara, then it is not of much use. Bhagavan sees the bhava, not the activity. Activity can be done by some thief actor also. That's why Bhagavan is called Bhavagrahi Janardhan. So Bhagavan sees the bhava. Bhakti is not activity. Bhakti is bhava. The activity happens because of bhava. If there is no kriya and there is only bhava, that is also enough. That's why sadhan bhakti leads to bhav bhakti. In bhav bhakti there is bhav. But why we call sadhan bhakti? Sadhan bhakti is called sadhan bhakti if there is a desire for bhav. Otherwise it is just an activity. It is not a sadhan bhakti. So even if you bring a flood of sadhan, but if you are not attached to obtaining bhava, then for long time also you will not get it. So bhakti is actually a bhav.
ठीक है, धन्यवाद
Okay.
महाराज, बहुत ही सुंदर उत्तर। मतलब आपके कहने का तात्पर्य है कि राग में अपने अहम की गंध है कि
हाँ
मैं
जी।
अपने लिए करता हूँ, और प्रेम में भगवान।
So the point that you are trying to tell is that there is smell of our own ahamkar in rag. So answer, bhakti, why we don't like bhakti? Bhakti directly attacks our material ego. It attacks the root cause of the knot in our heart. Bhakti attacks that directly. That's why people don't like bhakti. That's why they don't like Guru, they don't like Bhagavan. They work according to their own ahamkara. They can do 64 rounds, they can take the trouble of doing parikrama, but they maintain their own ahamkara. Their point is that don't touch my ahamkara. And what is Bhagavan telling? Bhagavan is directly attacking the ahankara, take shelter of me, because Bhagavan cannot tolerate ahamkar of any person. That's why Mahaprabhu said Trinadapi Sunichena. This is the formula. This is the formula of bhakti, Trinadapi Sunichena. But we get ahamkara in that also. I am most humble servant. So this is an ahamkara. You are most humble, and you are even daring to call like that, most fallen, most humble. So you are attaching most in that. Even if you declare yourself fallen, you don't want to be declared as fallen or humble, but in that also you want to be declared as most fallen or most humble. So ahamkar is like that. No matter how much it falls down, it again stands up. So ahamkar is a demon like that. If you cut off one head, again head will come up. It will come up like in another way. And it will come up in such a way that you will accept it happily. So if you tell a most humble person that you are not a devotee, if Guru tells him like that, you are not a good devotee, then he feels bad. When he tells himself, then he has no problem. But he does not tolerate being told like this by Guru. Okay, so we'll stop here and we'll recite the prayer verses.
सर्वोपनिषदो गावो दोग्धा गोपालनन्दनः पार्थो वत्सः सुधीर्भोक्ता दुग्धं गीतामृतं महत्। एकं शास्त्रं देवकी पुत्र गीतम् एको देवो देवकी पुत्र एव एको मन्त्रस्तस्य नामानि यानि कर्माप्येकं तस्य देवस्य सेवा कार्पण्यदोषोपहतः स्वभावः पृच्छामि त्वां धर्मसम्मूढचेतः यच्छ्रेयः स्यान्निश्चितं ब्रूहि तन्मे शिष्यस्तेऽहं शाधि मां त्वां प्रपन्नम् यत्र योगेश्वरः कृष्णो यत्र पार्थो धनुर्धरः तत्र श्रीर्विजयो भूतिर् ध्रुवा नीतिर्मतिर्मम कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकी नंदनाय च नंदगोपकुमाराय गोविंदाय नमो नमः। नमः पंकजमालिने नमः पंकजनेत्राय नमस्ते पंकजांघ्रये भवे भवे यथा भक्तिः पादयोस्तव जायते तथा कुरुष्व देवेश नाथस्त्वं नो यतः प्रभो नाम संकीर्तनं यस्य सर्वपाप प्रणाशनम् प्रणामो दुःखशमनस्तं नमामि हरिं परम् हरि ओम तत्सत्।